Yo, what's good, y'all? We back with another video, and we grinding. We gonna be grinding in the new year. I told y'all we coming different this year. We gonna be trying to make more videos. I was slacking, like I said last video, like for the past that winter break. We back. We gonna be making these videos. Try to make them as much as possible. So y'all see the title, and we gonna be talking about Julius Randle this season, though, not his career. Not, last season. Well, maybe last season a little bit just to broaden the perspective of this season. But Julius Randle this season has been a negative for my Knicks team. And I feel like I've been dropping a lot of Knicks videos lately. Maybe it's because I'm so interested in them because they're my team. But they do have some really good storylines and things going on with this team that they're worth talking about. So Julius Randle last season had a career year. Took the Knicks to the 4th seed with a weak roster, won Most Improved Player, completely changed his game compared to 2019, had career-high elite shooting numbers, was able to put the ball on the floor at a better level than he ever was in his career, had a different role. Tibbs empowered him, got an extension from the front office, which was deserved. He actually took less than he could have gotten for what he did last year. But now, he's been playing at a horrible level this season with career lows and different stats, and also playing very similar to his first year in New York back in 2019-2020 when fans wanted him out. And now Knicks fans are slowly going back to wanting him out again. And it's because of this season. He's had more bad games than good games. Last season, the thing would be if Randle had a bad game last season, it'd be like, he'll bounce back the next game. If Randle has a good game this season, it's like a rarity. When he has a bad game, it just gets me even more mad because it's happening a lot more often. And it doesn't help that his backup, Obi Toppin, who was drafted in the 2020 draft, 8th pick, lottery pick, who's in his second season shown strides, but doesn't get the time to play because of Randle, basically. And this is more of a Tibbs issue, but he doesn't play because Randle, obviously being the best player on the team, is going to play more than a second-year guy who's not as skilled as him. But, I'm starting to feel like Obi Toppin needs a little more of those minutes because Julius Randle has been stinking it up. The fans are fed up. And when you watch his game, not an efficient player. The playoff series was a real blueprint against the Hawks on how to stop him. And a lot of teams are doing that this season to him. And not only that, he's just straight up not making the shots he was making last year. But also, he took a lot of bad shots last season, but he was making them. This season, those bad shots are more realistic. They're not going in. A lot of step-back fadeaways contested. A lot of three-pointers that he's not really hitting at all, wide open or contested. He's just not looking for teammates, even though he's averaging a good amount of assists for his position. Not really looking for teammates, though. And he's just a turnover machine this season. Kind of like he was in 2019. A lot of those problems were what plagued him back in that season. And I kind of feel that the pressure is getting to him to build off of last season's magical year, the success he had. But now he's kind of back to his old habits. Another big issue is his defense. Last season, he was all over the place, playing some really good defense. Did he have lapses on defense last year? Yes, but every player does. Even the elite defenders sometimes have bad nights. But this season, it's just, no effort. Last season, that defense that I just talked about was a big reason why New York was one of the top defensive teams last year because of him and also the better defensive personnel around him. But he also stepped up his effort. This year, just no effort, no energy, just plays no defense at all. And it's getting to the point where you watch him on the floor and he's also been just a bad body language example for this team. And this team is young, so they look at Randle different. This is a veteran to them. This is their star. And his body language has been horrible in a lot of these games. Constantly looking unmotivated when things are going wrong during these games. And, like I said, he's been having a lot of bad games this season. So there's a lot of the times where he's looking just out of whack. Just doesn't even look like he's on the floor. And right now, he's a negative basketball player. Negative. He has the worst plus minus on the roster, and he's the most talented player. So that's a horrible thing, a horrible stat to read when your best player has the worst plus minus on the whole team. He's never a positive this year. Rarely ever a positive. Every lineup he's in this season, whether you put Quinn Grimes to start, whether Evan Fournier's out there with him, he's bad too. But whether Fournier's out there with him, whether Rose is out there with him, Walker's out there with him, RJ, it doesn't matter who's out there with him. The lineup never works. It just never works. Guys are in and out of the lineup except for him, and the starting lineup never works. It's bad. Alec Burks is in there. It doesn't look good. It's a him. I think it's a him problem right now when it comes to that starting five. He needs to get it together. I'm not saying he is the only problem for this team, but another thing I kind of feel is, that shooting stroke from last season was kind of lightning in the bottle type of situation. I don't think he's that guy. He's starting to, I think, snap back into reality this season. He's currently shooting back in the low 30s in three-point percentage instead of his 41% last year. And I think what he's shooting now is actually way closer to his actual career three-point percentage. So it makes sense that he took a dip. Also, like I said earlier, those tough shots he was hitting last season, those contested mid-range jumpers, they're not going in at all. He's shooting a horrible percentage from mid-range this season. He's barely hitting any of those shots. And those are bad shots. I really hope, as a Knicks fan, that we didn't get a one-year wonder from Randle, because we gave him the extension. The Knicks gave him an extension and it hasn't even kicked in yet. But right now, the more I see him play, the more I want him out. I don't know if I want him out yet fully, but I'm getting close. I'm getting real close to just saying, go back to being that trash team and let's just keep building with the young core we got. It's not a great young core, but there's progress going on there. And I feel like the vets are holding him back a little bit. That's why I say that. But now, like I said before, is he the only problem on this team? No, not at all. Definitely not the only problem on this Knicks team. But as the best player, he has to lead better on the floor and step his game up, or the Knicks are going to miss the playoffs. Right now, they're 11th in the Eastern Conference. They would miss the play-in tournament. And expectations were for them to be back in the playoffs. They would miss the play-in if the playoffs were to start tonight. They would even go there. And after that magical 4th seed appearance last year, it's coming down to this. Is he going to earn the reputation of a pandemic superstar? Because that's basically what he's getting a rep for. Taking advantage of last season's, no fans and all that, low amount of fans. When playoff time came and the crowd got big, lights got brighter, he wasn't that guy. Now, everything's kind of back to normal. He's not that guy. He's just not a real star right now when things get tough. He's back to being Julius Randle of old. I hope he can turn the season around, because right now the Knicks' future, like I'm talking about short-term future, relies on him. He needs to step it up, or the Knicks are going to have to be sellers during the deadline, and deadline's coming up in about a month. Now, can they trade him? Yeah. Do I think they will? No. Do I think they should? No, but should they look into deals? Yes. Problem is his trade value is so low compared to what it was in the offseason. You're not getting much back for him right now. He's a championship 3 option, and right now the Knicks are forcing him to be a 1 option, and he just can't do it. The pressure is getting too big for him right now. Hopefully he'll turn it around, but it's been a bad season so far for Julius Randle and the Knicks, and hopefully he can turn things around before that money that they just paid him turns into a bad contract. Anyways, that's going to do it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also follow me on Twitter. Instagram link will be down in the description. This has been The Checkup, where we talk hoops and hoops only. Catch y'all in the next video. Peace.